Welcome to this edition of Titan Television.
On this episode, we'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at the spring musical.
And you'll see our exclusive interview with our district superintendent.
All this and more on this edition of Titan Television.
Good afternoon, Titans.
Good afternoon, Titans.
And welcome to
this edition of Titan Television.
Good afternoon, Titans. I'm Matt Ross.
And I'm Mackenzie Elliott. We have a few announcements before we start our show.
First, Career Day will be February 5th. This will be a time to explore possible job fields and pick your courses for next year.
February 5th is also the date that online enrollment begins. So sign up as soon as possible, Titans.
Seniors may not be enrolling for classes next year, but they are looking for colleges and applying for scholarships.
Abby Dodge brings seniors some information and tips on applying for scholarships.
Seniors, we are now in our last semester of high school, but with that, we must now turn our focus to the future. Miss O'Neill was kind enough to sit down with me and discuss a topic that we all love to hate, scholarships.
The number one thing I would do would be start with the college that you are interested in. And if you don't know which school for sure, I'd still kind of keep doors open to all colleges and apply for scholarships from each and every school.
If you've already done this, don't worry. There's still money out there for the taking. With sites like fastweb.com, scholarships.com, scholarwise.com, and venturescholars.org, there are endless possibilities, but sometimes they are tricky to navigate.
It can be overwhelming. You're going to receive a lot of information on a lot of different scholarships, so you may need to pick and choose what would be most appropriate.
The most important thing is to find scholarships that reflect you as a student.
You may find if you don't receive the first two, you may receive that third one, so you have to kind of be willing to face rejection, but also be willing to keep trying because there's probably one out there that might be more specific to your needs.
And seniors, don't be afraid to list all of the things you've excelled in these last 4 years.
I think sometimes seniors are not very good at listing all their accomplishments because they feel like they're bragging. This is one opportunity where you can do that, and it's certainly okay.
While you're looking for scholarships on the web, there's some things you should look out for.
I would never recommend anyone submit any kind of money for a processing fee.
To learn more tips and tricks regarding the scholarship and financial aid process, you can attend the Lee Summit West Financial Aid Night being held on the 15th at 6:30 p.m. in Bateman Hall. Reporting for Titan Television, I'm Abby Dodge.
Thanks, Abby. For juniors and seniors looking to raise their ACT score, there will be an ACT prep class in February.
You can sign up in the Counseling Center, and the fee is $40.
Also in February is this year's spring musical, Cinderella.
I got the chance to sit down with a few of the cast members to discuss what they're doing to prepare for this year's show. Westside Stage is preparing to dance the waltz in this year's spring musical, and the cast is having fun with this classic show.
I'm excited for Cinderella because I'm playing a role that's very much outside my comfort zone, kind of. It's very different from the previous roles that I've played.
I don't know, I guess like Mel, my character isn't really like my other characters. Also, I'm dance captain, which is kind of a new thing for me. And so I have to lead people in dance, and that's a little scary for me.
The cast is currently learning their songs, dances, and blocking for Cinderella. And most importantly, they are learning more about their character.
My character is a total diva, and I love it. She definitely has a sense of authority over the king, which is hilarious, I think. I don't know, she's very out there, and she knows what she wants and when she wants it.
Bristino and Grantham encourage everyone to see Cinderella. And Cinderella definitely proves.
Glass slippers are so back.
Reporting for Titan Television, this is Mackenzie Elliott.
Good afternoon, Titans. I'm Dylan Johnson, and welcome to this edition of the Titan Sports Update. Last Friday, the boys basketball team traveled to Rockhurst to face the Hawklets. They would win 59-56, and the next game will be this Friday at Park Hill South against the Panthers. Over the weekend, the Lady Titans basketball team took on Ozark and Republic. They would win against Ozark with a score of 58-33.
The Lady Titan basketball team hosted Republic, an effort to continue what has been a successful season. After winning the tip, the Titans began to develop their tone of scoring at every given chance. But Republic wouldn't back down, leaving the game tied at halftime. The production of both teams continued throughout the second half, leaving the game's outcome to the final seconds. But the final shot by Dejanay Callaway wasn't enough to take the Titans into overtime, losing 47-46. This is Joe Andrews reporting for Titan Television.
We would also like to congratulate senior Austin Richardson for scoring her 1,000th point in her high school career. Last Thursday, wrestling would take on Blue Springs in a duel. They would wrestle their way to the top with a final score of 38-30. They would face Ray Peck tonight in the Fieldhouse at 6 o'clock. Over the weekend, girls swim competed in Park Hill. Sarah Raymond qualified for state and broke the school record in the 500-meter freestyle. Their next meet would be the 27th against Lee Summit North. Lastly, the Westside girls will compete on January 24th at the Lee Summit North competition. Head across town to cheer them on. The student versus staff basketball game is on January 26th. See Michael Shortino or the athletic office for more information. Well, that's all we have for this edition of the Titan Sports Update. I'm Dylan Johnson. Back to you in the studio.
With winter among us, potential snow days are on the minds of all students.
When there is snow in the forecast, our superintendent, Dr. McGeehee, stays busy as thousands of students log on to his Twitter for the latest updates.
Senior Justin Fowler sat down with Dr. McGeehee to discuss this social media site.
With snow on the ground and cold weather upon us, many students believe that we should have had snow days recently. However, there is some confusion to why snow days are called.
I think there's a misconception that people think that there's like a policy or there's a strict set of guidelines that we follow with regard to closing school, and it's really a judgment call every time.
Calling snow days adds pressure to Dr. McGeehee's job.
It is a stress that comes along with being the superintendent. The winter is certainly a more stressful time when they're forecasting snow or bad weather or cold conditions because you're trying to do the right thing and taking into account how whatever you decide affects the many people that it will affect.
As many know, McGeehee tries to lighten the mood through the popular social media site Twitter, and students stay connected with him by tweeting their thoughts on snow days.
I think it's good. I would just encourage folks to keep it respectful, and just to be real, and I'll be real. So every now and then someone will take a comment that I've made and say, "Oh, you were kind of rude." I might be a little sassy or a little dry sense of humor or whatever, but I think we all have to remember the environment we're in and that it's just Twitter, and some of the stuff that I get on Twitter is pretty profane at times, threatening sometimes, and I don't take it very seriously because I take it in context.
Overall, McGeehee hopes that students want the same as he does when it comes to snow days.
I'd just rather be going to school in the winter than in the summer. Hopefully most people agree.
This is Justin Fowler reporting for Titan Television.
Snow days or not, many students will still be driving on the roads in the cold and snowy weather.
Up next, we have some tips for students driving in the winter.
As new drivers, teens are some of the most dangerous people on the roads during the winter. According to Teens Drive Smart, around 70% of all winter storm deaths are automobile related.
To reduce this statistic, we've come up with some tips to help keep you safe this winter.
Tip 1. Keep an emergency survival kit in your trunk, which includes an ice scraper, a flashlight, long jumper cables, a blanket, extra clothes, bottled water, and non-perishable snacks. Tip 2. Make sure your tire tread and pressure are at good levels. Tip 3. Reduce your speed and increase your following distance. Tip 4. Scrape all the ice off your vehicle. Don't forget to clean your headlights and your brake lights as well. And tip 5. Warm up your car for at least 5 minutes before you start driving.
We hope these tips are helpful this winter season. Remember to use caution and be safe.
With photographer Ariana Galipsy, this is Mia Gutierrez reporting for Titan Television.
With a new year comes a new you.
I got the chance to sit down with several students and Miss O'Neill to discuss our new goals for second semester. The new year brings new resolutions, and many students set new goals for second semester.
I see a lot of students setting goals with their grades. A lot of them want to have a certain GPA. Organization sometimes is an issue, and some students really work to get organized.
My goal for second semester would be to finish the last semester of high school strong and to just focus and not get off track.
I want to keep my grades up. That's very important, especially as you're going through the college process. I'm also trying to manage my time better. I do lots of things. I'm in the musical, Una Voce, I'm doing the IB diploma at work, and just trying to find that fine line between doing too much and having control.
It is important to set goals for yourself during the school year, and it's just as important to achieve those goals.
A couple things that I strongly recommend is seek outside assistance. If you're not getting something, don't give up. Other ways to reach your goal is to maintain balance in your life and don't let yourself get overly stressed, which I see that happen a lot here. Some people feel like they're on overload, so finding some balance and maybe doing some fun things in your life, exercise, get together with friends, so you don't have that to help lower your stress level a little bit.
Hopefully these tips will help you achieve your goals, and we wish you luck through the rest of this school year. Reporting for Titan Television, this is Mackenzie Elliott.
Hopefully with those tips, you will be able to reach the goals that you set for second semester.
On another note, Saturday, January 31st will be the date of this year's courtwarming dance.
There is a twist to this year's dance. It will be a Sadie Hawkins, so girls will ask the boys.
Unlike last year, the dance will be on a Saturday night and will be a formal event.
There will be a spirit week for courtwarming the week prior to the dance, and the courtwarming assembly will be on January 30th.
Next Monday, we will have no school because it is Martin Luther King Day.
Also, the next 2 Wednesdays will be Privilege Days. Titan TV and the Titan Scroll will return on February 11th.
Well, Titans, that's all we have for this edition of Titan Television. I'm Mackenzie Elliott.
And I'm Matt Ross. Have a good rest of the week, Titans.